Well, thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Molloseau. All right, so we're just going to jump in and do some questions regarding your participation in the co-op program. So the first question that I have for you is, can you provide a brief overview of your professional background prior to GVSU? Specifically, what experiences helped prepare you to be a good co-op mentor?
All right, great. Well, thank you for having me. And prior to being at Grand Valley, I should probably start back from after graduate school, because that's where, when I finished graduate school, I went in and worked in industry for 4 years. So I first worked at a steelmaking company, which was a little more along the lines of my graduate work. And then after that, I worked at a high-tech company, Intel, where I moved into semiconductor processing. So I got an experience of a lot of different types of work environments and company cultures. So I think that's one of the things that helped provide me help for students at co-op. After that, I actually taught at the high school level for 18 years. And so by teaching students, I was teaching in STEM courses, mostly physics. But again, I also understand that idea of the students learning. So like that co-op is still a learning. It's not just you're on the job. What is the learning that's happening during the co-op?
Awesome, that sounds really cool. All right, so the second question I have for you is, what has been your current role with the Bachelor of Science and Engineering degree programs and cooperative education?
So I was hired in to work primarily with first-year students. So especially with my background in teaching high school, they thought it was a really good time because I could help those students transitioning into their courses. So I've mostly worked with the programming courses, so students learning to program in C has been predominantly that. I've also had worked with co-op students. I've taught basically all three, so 290, 390, and 490. I've had that experience. And I also have had students that have done an independent study, and now I'm even taking on a couple of graduate students. So
really involved from like the beginning to the end. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So my last question is, why do you think that cooperative education is valuable? Or how do you think that cooperative education helps students to gain valuable professional exposure and experience?
Well, having been someone that's worked in industry and also having participated in a co-op program myself, I just think it's an invaluable way to learn if you really want to be an engineer. It's one thing to take courses and say, I love this course, I love that course. It's a whole nother thing to be put into a situation, a high stress situation. Sometimes it's about dealing with, another coworker, and just like, again, like I was saying, learning about the company culture and does it fit with you. So I think with Grand Valley, it's unique that we require our students to do co-op. I know there's some schools that do that, but I also meet a lot of people that never had that experience. And so the students, I love going in and I love reading their journals. I love going in on their site visits and having them show me what they're doing, just seeing their confidence built. You could just see how close they are to being that full-fledged engineer. And in some cases, it almost seems like they are a full-fledged engineer. So it's really exciting to be part of that process with them. And then also to be able to connect with them, say when an issue does arise, and helping them to resolve that issue, whether it's, maybe with a supervisor or a certain situation going on, or even if they're unsure if that's the company they want to work at, and to let them realize that it's okay, you can make changes. So it's really, I love helping out with the co-op program. It's been really exciting, so.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. That's all the questions I have for you. So we appreciate you participating.